I did it. I got the sequence right. Oh, we've got an echo happening. Oh, that'd be my phone, I think. Let me turn that down. All right. Do your intros, Renata. I'll just get this fixed.
Good evening and good morning to the Paranormal United Network and to all of those who have jumped on this morning and are with us.
So I've actually streamlined it a bit today. We're only going to stream to the Paranormal United Network and to Anne and Renata Frightfully Good and YouTube. So
Awesome.
You've been selected.
You're very special, but you always knew you were.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Karen. First on today. You get first award today. Hi, Peter. Yeah, it worked. I got it happening. And there is, that's not, the picture isn't very big there, is it? Hello, Rena and Kerry and Annie. What an awesome name. Oh, it's Reiki Pete. Hi, Reiki Pete. I love how you say that now. We know immediately who you are. Jody, and I still haven't sent you a personal message to say thank you so much for my badge. It's going on my good red jacket, so thank you. Do you know what's really interesting, Renata?
What would that be?
In America.
Oh, it's your birthday.
It's still my birthday.
Oh, God, this is like a bad dream.
It's the 19th of July over in America, so
that
would be my birthday.
Thousands of people yesterday wishing you happy birthday. I mean, if you haven't felt the love by now.
Yeah, so I've worked 2 shows on my birthday. I'd just like to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I know. Do you like that's Harry? Harry, our spider. Hi, Janet.
They're actually that big in Australia, by the way, too.
So, hope you're having a good week, Janet, and I hope they've got all those things sorted out you're having issues with. Oh, Annie, you're from California. Hi, Betty. Hi, Sharon. So welcome to this week's episode of
the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness. Let us know where you're from, because that would be awesome. We would love to know where you're from.
I had to work out who we were and what we were doing. which show.
Yes, so let us know where you are from. That would be absolutely awesome. Yes, please wish Anne a happy birthday so that we can get this over with. It's been going on for days now.
I reckon you can say Jason's last name. See if she gets it right.
Kshanyak.
How did she do, Jason? Let us know. What was that? Got worried you changed your time slot. Happy birthday. No, we're here. We are definitely here. I keep trying to get Renata to move. I might just move the camera that way a little bit so we can get her in. Do you like our new backdrop? I am loving it. I think it's fantastic. I finally found one I'm happy with. Not worried about what she thinks. Oh, my tummy is still sore because, I've been celebrating my birthday for at least 5 days. And I was doing keto, but I figured for my birthday I was going to eat all the carbs I could possibly find on this planet, and I have been stuffing myself with them, and my belly is so sore. Far out, it's sore. Ugh.
Right. So if this is your first time here with us, thank you so much for joining. And we'll just do a very quick introduction. So my name is Renata Daniel, and I run a ghost tour business here in Newcastle, Australia. I've been running it for about 11 years. Prior to that, I was involved in psychic and paranormal groups and women's circles, and I worked as a psychic medium for 30 years, as well as 1,000 other jobs in between that. I now concentrate on all of this, which is what I absolutely love, and I'm very happy to be here. So, Anne, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sorry, I'm busy collecting birthday wishes. My name is Anne Regovich. I am married to Roman, and...
Oh, thank you for that piece of wonderful information.
Roman's busy pooping his butt out at the moment because he's having a colonoscopy today. Nothing to really worry about. It's just a little checkup. But he's been pooping for hours and hours and hours, and I just keep giggling at him, which is, I'm not a very supportive wife, am I? Anyway, back to the paranormal. I have been a paranormal investigator now for 11 years, interested all my life. Was even part of a spiritualist sort of group in my early 20s, and learnt about channeling and spirit messages and psychometry and all that sort of stuff there, and sort of left it for a while I was having children and starting off my career and all that sort of stuff. I was a high school teacher, but now come back with it with a vengeance and can't get enough of it. So I've been doing my studies with the Ryan Institute, with this also the School of Parapsychology with Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, and also some of the courses at Centre of Excellence, because they're great little general courses to give you an idea of various esoteric and occult studies. So I've been trying to get into them as much as I can, but my interest in everything is, my main interest is Victorian Seance era. I love it, and also ITC communication. Is that enough?
That's enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go back to doing? What will the Halloween theme be? That's a good idea. I might have to buy something special for Halloween.
So what we are presenting during our hour is the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness, and this week's letter is a letter J. And I've been doing a pretty good job at trying to find things that we haven't tried to cover before, and things that are a little bit unusual. So we're hoping that you enjoy today's presentation. And there are a lot of notes on screen, and most of those notes on screen are actually for me, so that I don't have to go searching through notes. I can just read what's on the screen, so it's been pre-prepared.
And I've printed it up.
Bear with me, please.
I've just is not the right word. Just eat it.
And drink your coffee, girl. Drink your coffee, honestly.
Coffee is required.
Oh, Lord.
All
Lord
right.
help us.
So are you ready for the presentation to go up?
Yes,
all right, I'll
let's
add
go.
that to the stream. Let me get that a little bit bigger for you. The problem being is that, oh, hang on, yep. No, it's okay. Don't stress. I just have to go over to here so that I can change the slides for you. Why isn't it going full screen? I don't understand. Anyway, there we go. So
today our topic is the Jersey Devil. So let me know if you've actually heard about this phenomena. It is in America. So if you have heard about the Jersey Devil, or you may live in that area or in close proximity, let us know, because you might have an experience yourself with this little beast. I found this story really interesting, and we thought we'd share it with you. So I'll just start to read, and if Anne comes up with anything interesting that you've put in the chat box, and please share in the chat what you think about all of this. If you know anything else about it, or anything in general that you want to put in, by all means, go ahead and do. So without a doubt, New Jersey's oldest and most enduring and important pieces of folklore is the tale of the infamous Jersey Devil. For close to 300 years now, Jerseyans have told tales of this mythical beast that stalks the Pine Barrens and terrorizes local residents. So let me know if you know anything about the Jersey Devil.
Yes, we've had Becky says, Jersey Devil, is that a myth or urban legend?
Oh, we might find out.
Let's study up now.
So the Devil and the Pines, Jersey Devil illustration, a red-winged Jersey Devil in foggy forest setting. You'll probably see that as we go through. To understand the legend of the Jersey Devil, you must first understand his birthplace. It is a remote region extending 1,700 square miles across southeastern New Jersey. It is actually a giant aquifer.
Yes, aquifer. That's a slippery slide, water slide thing, isn't it?
I was going to say aquifer for a minute. That would have been extremely wrong.
Yep.
With dense stands of white cedar. Inside, the air is calm, still and cool, the shadows heavy. The cedar stands throughout the swamp, staining the stream red with tannin. One area of stunted trees is called the pygmy forest, or many consider it a barren wilderness. 27 varieties of orchids grow there. In the early days, travel was difficult for the cedar swamps were great obstacles. Some roads are old Indian trails, others are old stagecoach roads. Some roads are paved, others are sandy. Roads lead to places named Hog Wallow, Double Trouble,
Hogwarts?
Sui Place, and Mary Ann Furnace. These names date back to the colonial times when settlers first came to New Jersey. The birthplace of the Jersey Devil is called the Pine Barrens.
Now, Joshua says, I have heard of the Jersey Devil and a few friends have seen him.
Ooh.
I wonder if it was while they were drunk.
Ooh.
No, but seriously, if they have, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Kerry said, heard it flies and has hooves.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting, before we
Yes.
go too far into this, what have you heard, without looking it up, tell us what stories you have heard about the Jersey Devil, and then we'll see how those Chinese whispers have gone. See if the story has changed. Oh yes, the poor anime. I remember watching a show about the Jersey Devil. It was animated so poorly. Oh dear. Might be as good as some of these ones I've got here.
So legend has it that in 1735, a Pines resident known as Mother Leeds found herself pregnant for the 13th time. Oh.
No contraception back then.
Leeds is the name of one of New Jersey's earliest settlers. So Mother Leeds was not living a wealthy lifestyle by any means.
Not with that many children, she wouldn't be.
Her husband was a drunkard who made few efforts to provide for his wife and 12 children. Reaching the point of absolute exasperation upon learning of her 13th child, she raised her hands to the heavens and proclaimed, "Let this one be a devil."
Why would any mother say that?
I would think of many reasons, but we won't go into that because that's another slideshow.
Okay, Kerry's just added in something about a child that was cursed and changed into it.
There you go.
Oh, she said it before that came up too.
Nice.
Just saying.
Nice.
Oh, all right, next one. Yeah, I love the eyes too. They were really cool.
All right, look, and before we go on to this bit here.
Okay, I'll go back.
No.
I like the eyes. Keep
All
going.
right. As paranormal investigators and ghost hunters, it's really important to actually learn about your own local myths and legends, because these things filter through generations, and it can become so ingrained into your psyche and part of your ancestry that many people will, on a subconscious level, literally see these things or have experiences with these things.
Because they're expecting to see it.
Because they know about it, they've heard about it.
Yeah.
It's this legend that keeps revolving around.
It's a bit like our Lemon Tree Passage ghost, which is some light anomaly they see in the back of in their rear view mirror, and it could be anything, a dark night, but because there's that legend, everyone assumes that's what it is.
Yep.
Anyway,
sure. So Mother Leeds went into labour a few months later, well, it would have to be 9 months, on a tumultuously stormy night, of course, no longer mindful of the curse she had uttered previously regarding her unborn child. Her children and husband huddled together in one room of their Leeds Point home, while local midwives gathered to deliver the baby in another. By all accounts, the birth went routinely, and the 13th Leeds
they'd be
child
falling out by that stage.
was a seemingly normal baby boy. Okay.
Now, a lot of the things we have with our thoughts is that the spirit world has a lot to do with permissions given. So by saying, let this one be a devil, she's given permission for an entity of some form or other to enter that child. But then does the child have its own free will? Can the mother do that to another soul? Sorry.
Well, we curse people all the time.
Oh, we do. So the mother cursed the child, basically.
And when I say we curse people all the time, it can be.
Oh, yeah, I don't mean like we sit around with our pentacles or pentagrams or
pentagons,
and summon devils to go and curse people. We say, oh God, I wish that person would just drop dead. That's a curse.
Yeah, they're throwaway statements that you make, but they have power and energy behind them. And depending on how vulnerable someone is, they can actually pick up on that statement and really run with it, especially if it is spoken to and discussed with more than one person, because then it enters into a larger vibrational state, and there's more focus placed on that particular statement, and therefore it grows exponentially. I'll use that big word because I've had a little bit of coffee this morning. It may be the only big word that I use, so enjoy it. So within minutes, however, Mother Lee's unholy wish of months before began to come to fruition. The baby started to change and metamorphosed right before her very eyes.
Can you say it one more time? That was fabulous.
See, I said only one big word
that was
per hour.
Metamorphosed.
Metamorphosed.
I think it might be a typo.
Within moments, it transformed from a beautiful newborn baby into a hideous creature, unlike anything the world had ever seen.
Oh, so it looked like a husband.
Oh, see, there you go.
And look, just a thing on cursing. If there's somebody who is really pissing you off and you want them to get away from you, wish them something really good, a good opportunity that takes them away elsewhere. Do that, which is a much nicer thing. It gives them something nice to move away to, hopefully, rather than wishing horrors to people. I hope you find.
Are we backpedaling?
No, I've used it. I've actually used it and it's worked. I wish somebody a wonderful opportunity that would take them away to another area, and they would stop annoying me. I didn't put the stop annoying me. I just wished them, a great opportunity somewhere else, greener grass on the other side of the fence. That would be far more tempting than staying with us. And sure enough, they got the opportunity, and the words they used were the grass was greener on the other side, and went, oh my God, that's the actual words I was using. How is that so good? And I felt good because he had a better opportunity and I didn't. I got rid of him. So anyway, so we're going on now.
So the wailing infant began growing at an incredible rate. It sprouted horns from the top of its head, and talon-like claws tore through the tips of its fingers. Leathery bat-like wings unfurled from its back, and hair and feathers sprouted all over the child's body. Its eyes began glowing bright red as they grew larger in the monster's gnarled and snarling face.
Ooh, I like that. Jodie also said, being the 13th child, there is an unlucky or bad stigma attached to that number as well, with urban legends and things like that. And Catherine's from the UK. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Peter had a really good suggestion. Can't we just use some F-off spray to get rid of it? Brought to you by Spells and Spirits. Thank you, Peter.
Smells and Spirits. Is this the key? All right.
That's it.
So the creature savagely attacked its own mother, killing her, then turned its attention to the rest of the horrified onlookers who witnessed its tempestuous transformation. It flew at them, clawing and biting, voicing unearthly shrieks the entire time. It tore the midwives limb from limb, maiming some and killing others. So this thing was born and then literally transformed within a very short period of time.
So the air hit it and then it went.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is one of the famous sketches of this creature.
Hi,
and this
Peter.
appeared in the Philadelphia Bulletin in January 1909.
That head looks like a horse. And the body is very familiar with a horse. It looks like the things off Harry Potter. The black horse things that draw the carriages. And only people who have died can see them. What are they called? The Harry Potter fans. Tell me what's the name of that creature. That somebody or Christy will know.
So the monster then knocked down the door to the next room where its own father and siblings cowered in fear and attacked them all, killing as many as it could. Those who survived to tell the tale then watched in horror as the rotten beast sprinted to the chimney and flew up it, destroying it on the way and leaving a pile of rubble in its wake.
Griffin? Hippogriff? Can't remember, but thank you, Peter.
So the creature then...
Thestrals! Thank you, Annie. I knew there'd be someone out there that would get it. The Thestrals. Sorry.
The creature then made good its escape into the darkness and desolation of the Pine Barrens, where it has lived ever since. To this day, the creature, pardon me, known varyingly as the Leeds Devil and the Jersey Devil, claims the Pines as its own and terrorizes any who are unfortunate enough to encounter it. So there's your tale.
Now, Sharon is telling us that some people confuse the devil with the Mothman.
Ah.
It's two completely different entities.
But you can see how they might look quite similar.
Yeah.
Okay, they've both got wings.
Yeah, but one's more a man-shaped body. They look a bit like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, who was it that was saw recently that was patting him on the butt? There's a statue in the town and she was rubbing his bum.
No idea.
I love that picture. Wow, where was that from?
That was in one of the magazines. It was too long to actually put the whole thing up, but
Swims, flies, and gallops available for $5.95 with free postage.
So we think that there is only one story to this, but there's actually more stories with how this thing got to exist. So another story tells of a young Leeds Point girl who had fallen in love with a British soldier. The British had come to the region because the iron furnaces at Batstow were supplying the privateers. In 1778, the British engaged the Americans at the Battle of Chestnut Neck. The townsfolk opposed the match, calling her liaison an act of treason. That they cursed the girl.
Oh, it's a bit of a Romeo and Juliet story there.
According to legend, when she later gave birth to the child, it became known as the Leeds Devil.
Now, Joshua has said, because he said one of his friends had had an experience, one friend said it flew over their car at 70 miles an hour, so that's freaking fast. And it had red and sometimes yellow eyes. They said it was absolutely terrifying experience and felt it was trying to kill them. I mean, just the fact that they'd witnessed something like that would be terrifying.
Mm.
And that was in 1987, he said.
So there's another variation that I found to the tale, which tells of a young woman who encounters a passing gypsy begging for food. She was frightened and refused. The gypsy cursed her for her refusal. Years later, in 1850, with the curse forgotten, when the girl gave birth to her first child, a male, he became a devil and fled into the woods.
Terry has also just thrown in there, interestingly though, between those two devils or entities, that they're both about a cursed child becoming the devil.
Mm-hmm. So that's number 3 now,
yep.
Where a woman has refused to give food to a gypsy. And that's a bit of a myth.
They use those in stories, Disney stories all the time, someone who wasn't kind.
Yeah. So now the devil's deeds. Tales of the devil's exploits abound. He has taken on a variety of forms. Because of the devil, crops have failed, cows stopped giving milk, and droughts ensued.
Poor old devil gets a bit of a bad rap all the time, doesn't he?
Well, at least they got off the witches for a while. You know?
But the witches consort with the devil, so you know.
Yeah, but usually it was the witches that stopped the cows giving milk. But anyway.
Oh, it curdled their milk.
He blew the tops off trees and boiled streams. He was blamed for the loss of livestock. Some believe the devil appeared every 7 years. Others said he foreshadowed disaster and foretold of war.
Now, that's where Mothman used to come in, because he always used to appear around a
before
time of some sort of big incident.
Yes. So now we're seeing how these myths kind of all...
So is it the same creature that's actually like Bigfoot, like there's families or nests of them throughout the country and people just haven't discovered them? Or is it this myth and legend has cropped up somewhere else, and because of that it's sort of grown legs of its own for that district?
Yeah. Now this is a really interesting little conversion of circumstance, Bonaparte and the devil. One of the first reported Jersey Devil sightings was in 1812 when Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's older brother, claimed he saw the Jersey Devil while hunting near his border town estate. Sightings occurred and the legend grew, fueled by animal attacks, strange footprints, and reports filled by eyewitnesses who supposedly encountered the beast.
I love it. Becky's gone, here we go. Napoleon Bonaparte consorting with the devil. No, it's his brother.
Look, there's blood involved there. There's blood and kin. So let's just mix them all together.
Same thing. So it's the same thing.
Yep. And the infamous Captain Kidd is reputed to have buried treasure at or in Barnegat Bay. Legend has it he beheaded one of his men to guard forever his buried treasure. Accounts claim the headless pirate and the Jersey Devil became friends.
Hi,
as
pirate,
they do.
how are you? Oh, good, thanks, devil. How are you? Nice to meet you. Do you want to be my best friend?
It sounds good. And were seen in the evenings walking along the Atlantic and in nearby marshlands. What a sight that would be.
Mm-mm.
A winged creature.
Holding hands, strolling down the beach with a headless pirate.
Now, how do they know it's a pirate if he doesn't have a head and he doesn't have its hat on?
Because it's got a parrot on its shoulder and it's got a wooden stump for a leg. Obviously.
Right. What about that little bit?
See you, Janet.
So the devil's tastes vary. He was seen cavorting at sea with a mermaid in 1870.
There's a whole orgy of stuff going on here.
That's a whole other workshop.
What? It had ham and egg breakfast.
With a Republican, Judge French, but the devil's not known to have specific political leanings.
Where did you get this information? That's hilarious.
It's all real. It's all real. And this is a story on a string of devil sightings in January 1909.
Hi, Jeff, who says hi from the goat.
Okay.
I think you're talking about the devil.
Okay, and so there's a little bit of a story in the paper. Hoofprints in the snow, whirring noises in the air, and other uncanny manifestations reach Border Town and Mount Holly after making sensation in lower counties where natives remain indoors after sundown.
Oh.
So this would obviously scare the population.
It's a good way to keep people inside houses too if you've got to do some nefarious activities.
Yes.
And the devil's around, you've all got to stay inside. Meanwhile, they're all outside moving something through the town. Oh, I wonder if that happens today. That could be a whole Miss Rona theory.
Don't. Oh, talking about scratching of the
Hi, Jeff.
Pardon me. The Jersey Devil's fame solidified itself in January of 1909 when nearly 1,000 reports came in from eyewitnesses throughout South Jersey. 1,000! So while testing cannonballs at Hanover Mills Works in the Pine Barrens, Navy Commander Stephen Decatur reportedly saw the creature and shot it. The cannonball blew a hole in the devil, but it wasn't fazed by the projectile. Strange tracks were found in fields, but bloodhounds allegedly refused to follow the tracks. The kids were fine with it all, though, because schools in the Pine Barrens were closed.
Joshua says it was Jersey. It was Taylor ham. Thank you for that. Not green eggs and ham. What's this? The faterd. Oh, this is a very specific type of Jersey devil. The faterd Jersey devil. So someone had a typo.
Yeah, the A mysteriously disappeared. After Jersey Devil sightings were reported in 1960, wealthy merchants offered $250,000 reward for the capture of the beast. So we've come up to 1960 in this one.
Oh, okay.
It's still happening, still going on.
Gee, she must have been about 40 then.
Oh, yeah. This is a
that's a dog
picture.
being thrown up in the air. Farting, I think.
No, this is a picture of a proper Jersey Devil.
Or a goat.
I'll go with the first thing of the dog that you saw, but yeah.
It's got horns. You can see the horns.
No, it could be just hair.
Could be.
It could be hair. It doesn't look like it's in a flying position.
And it actually looks like it's got something strapped around its waist too. Can I just add?
No.
I don't think it's real, Renata.
So possible explanations. According to skeptics, the most logical explanation for the Jersey Devil is
Cool.
that it's nothing more than a story made up by English settlers frightened of the isolation, desolate pine barrens of southern New Jersey. Fugitives, dissenters, and deserters took refuge in the pine barrens. Some of them became notorious bandits known as the pine robbers or pineys, who terrorized the local communities. The threatening atmosphere of the barrens, the criminal activities of the pineys, and sightings of real animals like bears and sandhill cranes likely inspired the tale of the Jersey Devil.
So a sandhill crane's deadly. Because they've listed them next to bears, sandhill cranes and bears. Just be careful when you enter that area.
They must be huge.
They must be huge.
Here is another picture. That's a better one than the first one, I have to say.
Yeah. But it's still
creepy ass thing, isn't it?
Do you know what year that was taken?
There's a thing here. Oh, you have to go to the page, which is mentioned there, to check that out, what year it is. I'm not sure.
The problem is these days that people, like everyone has access to be able to Photoshop anything. And you just don't know, do you? I mean, if that's real, that's a fantastic photo, but it's just so hard to know.
Oh, we've come to the end. And that's us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Anne and Renata, also our community Facebook page. And as you're staring at that,
she's got even more notes. Yeah, it does. It looks like a mini dragon. I agree. Jeff is giving a shout out to all his friends. Oh, Elise, thank you. And hello.
So there are reports of sightings that are kind of more in today's world. And yeah.
Because somebody did ask the question, have there been any recent sightings?
Yeah, look, I've got a couple of ones here. So I'll just go through more recent stories here. So this one is from 1972. I was a senior at what was then Glassboro State College. I'd heard about the Jersey Devil when I came to South Jersey, but being from North Jersey, a different world, I thought I was far too sophisticated to believe in such humbuggery. Love that word. One winter night, I was driving to Glassboro from Blackwood on Green Tree Road. At the time, the road was flanked by orchards and farms. There were a few houses and there was hardly any development. I was completely sober and awake when I caught
I love
a
how people have to
glimpse
say that.
of something in my rearview mirror. Curious as to what it could have been, I slowed down to take a gander. It was dark out, the moon lit enough that I had no trouble at all discerning the upright figure of a creature crossing the road from one side to the other, roughly 25 feet behind my car. The figure stood taller than a man by far and had thick haunches similar to a goat's, supporting its nearly human-looking torso and huge woolly head. It moved heavily and didn't seem at all disturbed by my being there. I didn't linger long. So petrified was I that I slept the rest of the night in the car, unwilling to get out in the same darkness that had introduced me to the Jersey Devil.
Can I read one?
Yep.
Which one can I read? I love reading stories. Have any of you listened to our True Hauntings podcast? I love doing the soundscape.
Go with Camping with the Jersey Devil. That's 1980.
Oh, 1980. Okay, so it goes over to there. Okay. Yep. Let me prepare my professional speaking voice. Oh, if anyone could share our podcast or what are you doing at the moment, the show, we'd really appreciate it. We really want to build our numbers on here. Because Renata puts a lot of work into these slideshows, and I do so much work prettying them up for you. In the late 1980s, a couple of my friends and I took a camping trip to the Pine Barrens. I was unaware that we were headed to the home of the Jersey Devil. We headed out on our bikes and did our share of partying that night. The next day, while everyone was asleep, 3 of us decided to hit the trails a bit earlier than usual. We were about 100 yards away in the woods when my bike stalled out. I gather they weren't push bikes. I looked and found that my friends had stalled also. At first, I thought it had something to do with the terrain or maybe something to do with the nearby power plants.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a conspiracy.
Yeah, 50 feet away, from each other, we tried to start up our bikes when suddenly from the woods we heard the most horrible, piercing scream. It sounded like a crow. It sounded inhuman, like something being tortured.
There you go. That was pretty good.
Once back at camp, they asked us if we had heard screams earlier. They had heard them too, 4 miles away. That night, we headed into the local town because we ran out of booze. You sure they're not Australian? We went into a bar and I ordered a drink, still in shock from what I'd heard that morning. The bartender asked, "Hey, kid, what'd you see, a ghost or something?" After I told him the story, he smiled and said, "It looks like you met our little friend." He then asked us to come out the back. He showed us a tin garbage can that was shredded to bits. It looked like the shreds were made from something with 3 claws.
Ooh.
I have never returned to the Pine Barrens since, and I do not plan to go back.
Right.
That's Frank T.
Frank T.
Mm.
Awesome. Thank you for that beautiful reading.
Thank you. That was a bit of a cold read. And thank you for everyone who is sharing. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
So I'll just pop out of this little screen share we've got happening here. Stop screen share. There we are. And I can go back to the full screen for us there so you can see what's happening. Yes, they shat themselves. Yes, that's a very good description. So that brings us to the end of our presentation of the ABC of Paranormal. Now, this is the time of the show where if you've got your paranormal questions to ask, please throw them at us and we will do our best to answer them or give you our opinion. We don't claim to be the experts in the field, but we've done enough study and training that we know a little bit. But let me tell you, every time we learn something new or read a new book, we've just now got more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you, Charmaine. And the other thing that we can do is that we do have our tarot cards and naughty and nice cards, or we've got the naughty oracle cards. So if you have a question that you would like to throw to Renata, and maybe I might help out too, we can answer some of your tarot questions. So we multi-skill.
I'm ready to go.
You ready? She's rip roaring ready to go. Just be aware that Renata is a very talented and gifted psychic medium who reads the tarot brilliantly. And I read what's called the Naughty Spirit Oracle cards, which use a lot of foul language, and I read them with no skill whatsoever. Or do I? So always seek advice from professionals before doing anything that is a major change in your life, as we like to say. But I'd just like to say at this stage that all the questions and everything are totally seized up and there is nothing coming through. There we are. All right. Now, Becky actually has a partner that is overseas serving in the armed forces. Will Mark return from Yemen anytime soon as he has been transferred there?
Oh, Becky, what a worry that might be.
And I mean, good on you. That's an awesome thing. People don't realise sometimes the wives or the partners are just as equal to the service of the servicemen.
Yes.
Having to go without their loved ones and the support and everything they provide. So good on you too, Becky, and for Mark.
Becky. And can you put a real big bubble of protection around him?
Not that she's seeing anything bad.
I'm not seeing anything bad. It is just this extra energy that you can send out. And literally, if you can picture a big bubble that he is sort of encapsulated in from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. And it's this energetic bubble. I'm just reading the question. This energetic bubble that he sits in. It may help you feel as though you're actually actively doing something in support as well. Because I can imagine how sometimes the wives or those left behind, husbands as well, sometimes can feel as though they just have absolutely no control and they can't do anything. They're just so helpless. And this Three of Cups for me suggests that he will be coming home soon. I think he'll be home for Christmas.
Oh, no, happy tears. And hi, Jaron. I hope you're having a good day at school and that you are being the perfect student. I want you to shock your teachers. Joshua wants to know, what made you discover your gift?
Abject fear and terror, Joshua. As children, we don't understand what it is that is going on with us at many times. And if you're lucky enough to have parents who may consider discussing things with you when you tell them that there are fears, or that you're seeing things or things are happening to you in an open conversation, that is awesome. But I was born into a strict Catholic family who threw God at me at every particular moment in time and said he would fix everything. And guess what? Didn't happen. But I had kind of weird ass things happening from a very, very early age that were kind of pretty unexplainable. And it was just sort of, I guess, brushed over as being a hypersensitive child. So it was only when I sort of
You were trying to get people's attention by being different, weren't you?
Yeah. No.
She didn't want to be different.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that, Renata. Okay, Kerry Schreiber, I'm looking at doing some intensive study in October. Any feelings around this? Any
Kerry.
sort of study is a good thing.
Yes.
Just make sure you've got the time to dedicate to it. Unlike someone who signs up for courses that are going to give her a piece of paper at the end of it and then doesn't have the time to do them.
Nope. Nope. Pick this. The Queen of Wands is someone who needs intellectual stimulation at all times. You need to feel that there is an adequate amount of knowledge going into your head. It gives you a sense of power and control. So this is, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fantastic. Everyone should strive for more learning always. It is how you use that is the most important thing. So when you go into this study, there is no doubt that you can complete this and you will do really well. But you have to have an excellent why. Why are you doing this? What is the methodology you're going to use afterwards to create the life that you really want? Whether that be financial or security, safety, or giving you a sense of a career, whatever that might be. So it is a good thing that you are choosing to do, but make sure the focus of it is for something long-term, something that you can say, this is actually going to lead me to this, not just doing it because you're just doing it.
Okay, and the naughty oracles are saying, of course, are you fucking kidding me? Of course the answer is yes. Get in there and do it, and we love every minute of it. You like us. I wish I could be doing it every day.
We are doing it every day.
We are.
I was listening to Dean Radin coming in the car.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
did you get the book?
No, I haven't.
I didn't imagine they would have had that book there.
No, they didn't. They did at one stage, but they didn't.
We'll get it on Thrift.
Yeah. And we're listening to his book and listening to some conversations that he's having about their studies on telepathy and precognition and clairvoyance, and the fact that really science has said this stuff actually happens. It's real. It's absolutely real. And he did a interview that I was listening to, which is very interesting, because he said that in science, the thing that makes it work is peer review, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually put up something that your peers don't agree with, they pretend it never happened, because it doesn't fit their worldview.
Yes.
And so
but science has been wrong over the centuries. Like
it kind of is ignored.
Science is based. Sorry, Elise, we will get your question. I'll just pop it down just for a second. Science thought the world was flat. Some people still do, but they thought the world was flat. And scientists jump up and down and sort of say, unless it's provable, then it does not exist. Unless you can reproduce it, it doesn't exist. At the moment, we don't have the technology or the knowledge to to reproduce these things on demand, and that's what they're wanting.
But the problem is that what they're saying is that these types of things need human interaction, and that's the one bit that you can't reproduce
because we are the catalysts.
Yeah, and depending on our mood, depending on how we feel at a particular time, and because that changes, that's flexible. Yeah, it's not like a program in a computer where if you put 1 + 2, it'll always be 3. Yeah.
Unless you do the square root of each one and add it together.
It can't be reproduced. But there's so much interesting information, guys, if you dig deep and start to look at what is available to really help and assist you as an investigator of paranormal.
I believe that many scientists won't embrace this because they don't want to be seen as kooks. It's so much safer to go, oh no, it doesn't exist, you're all crazy. Because they don't want to actually embrace the fact that it might be real.
But is that still religious bias in being
or is it scientific bias?
Or scientific bias?
It's a bias.
And as scientists, you shouldn't have a bias. You should treat it all as open information that is to be worked through and explored.
Yep.
Anyway.
Now, Elisa's got a big question here for us. My bestie's girlfriend lost a friend a few months ago. Cause of death is unknown. She didn't wake up at a party. She's been feeling a presence in her room, feeling cold on her right side and a cold breeze in her ear. This started happening after she started using a face-moving TikTok filter. She is heavily grieving. It's been a couple of months. Is she imagining it could be her best friend telling her to let go? Grieving is the key word here.
Yeah, Elise. One thing has triggered another, and the moment her mind has a view on what's happening, it can be misinterpreted depending on your emotional state, and different things that kind of mean different things can be bunched together for it to make sense. And as Anne said, the big thing here is that she's grieving. She's looking for some sort of contact because the death of her friend was such an unknown. And we as people demand in our brain a piece of information that allows an occurrence to have an ending. We don't like things being left open. We crave to have an answer. So she will continually be looking for an answer with regard to this particular occurrence until she gets one that fits her worldview. And the more you can get this person to get some counselling about this at this particular stage, the better off she's going to be, because as you have now said, Elise, she is feeling that it is a evil presence, and that's getting to a point where she's now fearing. Can
you see it?
Yes, that she is starting to get into a area of anxiety, stress, and fear, and this could go really badly for her. And I doubt it's an evil presence. I feel that this is part of the grieving process that's gone a little bit too far, and left to her own, she can get herself into a whole lot of mental stress and duress that doesn't have to happen.
It's cycling.
If she can go through it with someone, a counsellor or a spiritual counsellor or someone that will allow her to sit and to talk through this stuff. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, and it's so hard. And like there's the TikTok filters, they are just filters. They're not portals to the other side. All right. All right, Jeff.
Can I just add one thing that's really, really
That
important?
looks like the makeup I did for you the other night.
Yeah. We often interpret things and put a label on things that we shouldn't. And we classify things as evil just because they raise fear in us.
It's unknown.
And fear is a reactive thing. We're reacting to something, like I said, that we don't know the answer to, or that is different, or is an experience we have never had before, and we're trying to deal with it or work it out. So immediately we put it in the evil basket when it's not. In many cases, it is just something that's unexplained or misunderstood at that particular time. So again, the more information, the more grounding you can get on a particular subject, the more it will help you try and understand it, and not classify things as evil when they're not.
Thank you, Hollywood. Can you do my reading? Can you tell how my ghost hunting and is my life going to be better and something
more ghost hunting with my fiance?
With your fiance.
Well, Jeff, as I just said, as long as you've got a handle on it, and as long as you don't think everything that goes bump in the night is evil, you're going to do good. Ghost hunting is one of those real awesome activities that gets us to think about our real world view and helps us to expand our view of our world, our story about the world, and what is actually happening and what is real and what is not real. It's like jumping into the Matrix, if you want to say that. And it expands our ability to look at things that are unseeable, and we can sort of really kind of muse and think about those things rather than sort of sit in this dreaded humanity and go, well, everything's shit and it's horrible, and why bother? So it does allow you to look at the world as being this wonderful, mysterious, and mystical place. So as long as you go into the next part of your life with that idea of this is just really expanding, this is fabulous, I can learn a whole lot of stuff, it's going to make me a better person, and geez, I'm having fun doing this with my fiance, then it's absolutely going to be better.
Get matching T-shirts.
Absolutely.
I ghost hunt with my husband. There was a stage there where I had left one team. I hadn't started working with Renata so much, and I basically formed a team with my husband, and he would investigate with me, and it was wonderful. We got to spend more time with each other. Otherwise, I'd be out on weekends doing whatever I could to do the ghost hunting, and he was left at home. So to be able to do that together was really awesome. Yeah. But the Ghost Education 101 classes on the Paranormal United Network are fabulous. I recommend that to anyone who's got an interest in the ghost hunters education. So make sure you've signed up to them so that you can watch those classes. Oh, okay, I've got the hiccups. Yes, Lisa's saying thank you. A friend of hers said to speak to a counselor.
Absolutely.
Yep. Good friend. Julie Myers. Hi, Anne and Renata. My estranged mother passed away last year and was wondering if we will get the answers to the questions we have with this situation.
Oh, Julie. The closest people to your mother know the answers to this particular situation, and whether they're keeping it a secret just to keep the status quo, or they're humiliated by what those secrets are and fear that it is going to create even more havoc and stress in people's lives, especially for their own sake. But you're going to find the answers very, very close to home. And
Nice.
I'm not sure whether at this particular point in time you will find the answers. I think it will be time that tells.
Oh, and thank you, Beth. I love listening to your live sessions.
Thank you, Beth.
We will have a new show starting on Sunday nights, which won't be on Facebook. We can't actually announce where it's going to be yet, but it will be from 8 to 10 p.m. on a Sunday evening here in Australia. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. We will put up links to how you can watch that show, but it's going to have a little mix of everything in there. We're going to be letting go of our Monday night lives that we do, the Q&A paranormal, only because these shows take research. True Hauntings is such a big time consumer for our research, and we just have to work smarter, not harder.
And in saying that, we're planning some workshops for Monday nights now anyway.
Yes, but the thing is we need to actually make some finances, because we do all of this at the moment for free.
Mm-hmm.
We make money on running ghost tours, which we can't really run a great deal at the moment due to the Rona. We won't say the word because otherwise you get blocked on the various things we're streaming to. Yep. So this is how we need to make some money. But what we're doing now, we do to build our audience, to find more people that are our people, and to join in on it. So it's really important if you can make sure that you have subscribed, you have liked wherever you are watching from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. We would really appreciate a subscription to us to help us do what we do.
And yes, we will still be on the Paranormal United Network, because we do that on a Tuesday morning, our time. So that's part of our work day on Tuesdays anyway. So yes, we are going to still be here, and we are still going to be doing more of the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness. So yes, we're not going anywhere, Joshua. It's just adding another string to our bow, adding more stuff that we do. And we're just finding that there aren't enough hours in the day or spots in our life where we can do these things. So we have to kind of shift things around. And look, lots of us are in transition at the moment. And we are all just trying to find a new way of being so that we can continue doing what we love. But, yeah, finding some financial way of doing these things would be awesome, because, it'd be nice to pay the bills.
But I mean, one thing you can do is make sure you jump onto True Hauntings and share that around, because we actually have a couple of sponsors that have come on board to pay us a little bit of money for each show. So please, that would be awesome if you could do that.
We don't mind some American sponsorship either.
Yes. Well, one of them was an American company. So yes, you will be able to watch it in the USA. Absolutely, you'll be able to watch it anywhere in the world. And if you can't watch live, then you will be able to watch at a later date. So it's very exciting. We're actually quite excited. We can't wait to announce it. The first show will be this Sunday. So we are frantically preparing.
Oh, thank you, Kerry. Thank you so much.
And Christy's sharing her stuff there. Anyway, that brings us to the end of our show. Now, the Paranormal United Network does have a show coming on straight after us, I do believe. So make sure you jump back over there and see what's on offer. They've always got such a smorgasbord of things to share with people. We love working with them, and we are very grateful for the opportunity to actually come on here and be able to speak to all our American friends as well. So love you all, and we will see you on
the dark side.
The dark side. But the problem is, I've got to get out of this so that I can end this. Bye.